This video will show you 3 ways to transform your confidence using reality transurfing. I'm going to show you a whole new paradigm, a way for thinking about it that changed my life that I think can do the same for you. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 ways that you can totally transform your confidence and seeing things from a totally new perspective. So before I get into that, let's understand the normal way people go about it. The normal way we go about understanding confidence is that what we must do is we must, in a way, kind of puff ourselves up. We must kind of hype ourselves up in knowing that I am worthy, that I'm able to do something, and we in a way need to pile in some new idea and start to see things from a different perspective. Now that's the old way of doing things. I was recently reading Reality Transurfing, and I read it every night before I go to bed because I have the Reality Transurfing Academy and I need to know every little angle of it. And even to this day, there's 5 books, there's like 1,000 pages of it. Every time I read it, I pick up new things, I pick up new ideas. And one of those ideas was understanding this of reality transurfing and confidence. It's a totally new perspective. So the first part about this, and the first way that you do this, is you do something that is called ending the battle. So normally, we think that this is where we are, and what we need to do is we need to upgrade ourselves. We need to see ourselves with a new perspective. We need to see ourselves as superior. But the thing is because we are not happy with where we are right now, we are affirming in the present moment we want to be somewhere else, then we create this resistance and we create this gap between the way we see ourselves to the way other people see us, to the way we see our whole entire life, and how we relate our inner world to our outer world. So what is the power in understanding this? It's that we are already whole and complete. We are perfect the way that we are. And sometimes this is one of the biggest paradoxes. Because what we normally think is that if we get somewhere else, we were going to be happy. And we normally think that it's all about piling on. With this reality transurfing idea, it's about knowing that the frame from which we're coming from is the most important thing. It's how you feel. And the paradox is that when you allow yourself to feel the way that you do, many times the feeling will go away. Because then what we start to do is we start to allow the feelings to be there. We start to realize it's not about being here and wanting to be here. It's about being here, allowing what's here to be, and then the flow starts to happen in a much more powerful way. So this, from my perspective, when I started reading this and I really started to absorb it, it totally changed my perspective of it. Because normally, as you probably see in my videos, I come off with a very kind of authoritative type vibe. Like, it's almost like the vibe is like very confident. But what I realize is that I can let that go. And it's not that I'm trying to project some type of confidence. I'm just kind of sharing passionately what I think and what I talk about and what I learn. So it does make me look at things differently though, because when I'm coaching people, when I'm helping people to get the results they want, it's less about trying to get anywhere, trying to pile on, trying to let go of, maybe some childhood memory of not being confident, although those can be powerful. But it's more so realizing there's a higher level paradigm than that. And that has to do when you start to have this level of understanding that you don't have to go anywhere else. That from a certain paradigm that can work. Just like the different paradigms of manifestation. There's a paradigm that says, I am here, I want to be there, I'm going to take action to get there. It can work, it can also have a lot of resistance. There's higher paradigms when you raise your vibration and you raise your consciousness to where you could just start embodying the emotions you want now of what the emotions will bring you when you get to that external place. Because the emotions exist within you right now. It's just that we give ourselves permission and we say, once I attain XYZ, then I will have made it. And I can give myself permission to be happy. But you can do that right now. So the first part of understanding transforming our consciousness is to end the battle of trying to be different than where we are. This is where you become authentic. This is where you tap into more of who you really are. And paradoxically enough, you end up just letting go of what doesn't serve. Now the second way that we go about transforming our confidence is understanding how to decrease importance. Now, this is a reality transurfing idea that has changed so many people's lives. I get messages probably every single day from people saying, thank you so much for introducing me to reality transurfing. I've decreased importance, and it's been the game changer. That was the game changer I had. When I first applied reality transurfing, I learned about the idea of decreasing importance. I practiced it, and the results came quicker than ever. So decrease importance, what does that mean? Anytime we put something on a pedestal and we make it very important that we accomplish it, we immediately distance ourselves from it, and we create resistance in the present moment. And that resistance will make it so that we do not perceive of opportunities that are around us, and it'll make it so in a way we create our own internal blocks and resistance. So the solution to this is to decrease the level of importance. And in the same way, when we look at that of reality transurfing and confidence, this is where we naturally are. This is who we naturally are. What we do is, if we have to pump ourselves up, we expend a lot of energy because we are, in a way, looking and trying to perceive ourselves as more important than it has to be. Because we're also trying to change where we are, because where we are isn't good enough. So normally we pump ourselves up, we attain a new perspective, and periodically, or for a certain amount of time, we start to see ourselves as higher than where we were. But this is the thing, it's a false sense of security, because we were already whole and complete. So that's what we do. Now, on the other side of this, if you really don't feel confident, maybe you feel less than other people. So other people, it's in a way, when you're around other people, it's very important that things go well because you really care what people think. That's where we put ourselves below that of other people. And either one of these is what's called excess potential. Whether we're up here, we're giving things more importance than they need to have, or we're down here feeling nervous, we are still giving things more importance than they need to have. So the key to this is to let go of that resistance, to let go of that importance, to know, like the first part, we are already whole and complete, but at the same time, there's no need to go up or down. Now, what's the easiest way to do this? There's a couple easy ways to decrease importance. You want to know the easiest one and the funnest one? Is to simply have fun. Is to loosen it up. If you see it as very serious, you're like, yeah, I'm not that confident, blah, blah, blah. Start to see it more as funny. Just like get out of your head, just get more into the present moment, have fun with the process. It doesn't have to be so serious. In a way, you can look at it from a kind of a comedic point of view. Because we go around thinking it's so important that we look better than other people, that we don't look worse than other people. It's a game we play, it's an illusion. It's only real in our own minds. So have fun with the process. Make it more about your state of being. Go out and do things you haven't done before. Put yourself in situations that increase your state of being, whatever that is. And as you do that, you start to see, yeah, it's not that important. The other thing you could do is you could see the worst possible case scenario. This is something I don't recommend you necessarily do every day, but this is something that they talk about in the book. And what you do is you see the worst case possible scenario. What if everybody in your life saw that you did something stupid? Is it the end of the world? No, because they're going to forgive you or they're going to forget about it. Everyone is thinking about themselves anyways. So when we do that, when we at least acknowledge the worst case scenario, we realize it's still not the end of the world. Things will still be okay. So then, at the same time, we're like, you know what? This is where I am. That's okay. And the worst case scenario, that's okay too, because I'm still going to be okay. So it's this new level paradigm. It's this new level of understanding. Now, if you want to learn how to decrease the level of importance for something, I've created a free guided meditation that will help you to do that so that you resonate more with your desires. It'll also help you to wire in a lot of these reality transurfing ideas. So if that's something you want, it's going to be in the top of the description box below. You will see it right there, and you can download it, listen to it whenever you want. I recommend you listen to it for at least about a month, and then periodically after that, but I think you will get the benefits that you want out of it. So the third way that we go about transforming our level of confidence has to do with our self-image and seeing things as natural for us to attain what we want. So imagine this, like normally we're looking at attaining a new perspective. And that new perspective normally is away from our default. So this is our perspective, it's up here. Instead, we can still change our self-image for the way we see ourselves, because our self-image, the way we see ourselves, we walk around, we project that subconsciously out to other people, and other people are responding to us based on that self-image that we project out. But what we can do is, instead of focusing on some like high, on a pedestal perspective, just see it as natural and chill for you to have this perspective. So for example, if I were to see myself traveling the world and giving speeches and seminars, which is something I do. It's one of my slides. What in Reality Transurfing is called a slide. I see myself in front of a lot of people, giving speeches, loving what I do, answering questions, connecting with people in the crowd, afterwards going out to an amazing restaurant to eat. And I see that, and that's what we call a slide. Now, if when I saw that slide, I gave it a lot of importance and meaning, I was like, oh, that would be just the top of the world, then I immediately distance myself from it. So what do I do instead? When I think of that, and I'm looking at it through my own eyes, that's another important part of the process, I look at it, and I feel this sense of passion, but it's very settled because I realize that is who I am. That is who I choose to be. That is my natural self-image. It is natural for me to go out and speak in front of people. I do it on YouTube. Why can't it be natural for me to do it in person? You see, that's the mindset I have. That's how I think about it, because then I more so resonate with it. So, that relationship that maybe you want to attract in your life, rather than thinking that it's going to be a 10 out of 10, you're going to go to the beach and just feel this ecstatic feeling the whole time, have a sense of passion, but for that version of you, it's not that like 10 out of 10. It's natural. Because then, maybe then your set point of 0 out of 10 goes to 0 out of 15. And that 10 out of 15 is just your natural set point. So you see, we raise the bar when we actually get there. So by the time I'm traveling the world and doing all of these things, it will be natural for me because it's a part of who I am. For you attracting the relationship, it's natural for you. So focus more on your state of being, on feeling the emotions you want right now, and know that as you start to see it as natural for your self-image, that those things will fall into place naturally. So it's about that naturalness. That's why Reality Transurfing, I think, is such a powerful concept. Because when we really wire it in, it's more about being authentically who we are, but understanding how we can really connect to who we are without trying to pile in some new perspective, some new idea. So you are whole and complete. All you have to do is really recognize that. Understand that when it comes to this whole process, you can end the battle of trying to be more confident than you are, trying to come at it from this perspective of trying, of needing to change. You are whole and complete. Understand you can decrease importance. Instead of making it not okay that you're here, you have to be up here or down here. Let it be okay where you are. Decrease importance. Have fun with the process. Even just look at the worst case scenario. No, you are still going to be okay. And then start to see it as natural for your self-image to be the way you prefer. Feel peacefulness. Feel that connection. Know that that is who you choose to be. And as you do all of these things, you will transform your confidence, because you'll realize that true confidence is this inner sense of connection. And that as long as you do that, you won't care what people think, and everything in your life will begin to transform. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. I did one yesterday. It was awesome. I think you guys will really enjoy it. If you guys want to interact with me and ask me questions, go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well, so we can have more of that dialogue. And other than that, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification here so that you guys can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.